Home. A word that means comfort, safety, belonging. But sometimes a home keeps secrets its owners were never meant to see. What if the house you live in wasn't just old? What if it remembered? People renovate every day. They knock down walls, tear up floors, hoping to reveal something beautiful. But what happens when the thing they reveal should have stayed buried? Some discoveries are historical, some are strange, and some are nightmares disguised as drywall. These are 4 disturbing discoveries found in people's homes. Number 4. It was supposed to be a routine renovation. A group of workers were fixing up an old property in northeast Houston. Cracked foundation, moldy carpet, nothing special. Until one of them noticed a strange smell. It wasn't rot or garbage, it was sweet. The kind of smell that clings to the back of your throat. As they tore up the old wooden floor, their crowbar hit something soft. A black plastic bag, sealed, wedged deep between the beams. They dragged it out, cut it open, and a small white shape rolled onto the dirt. A skull. When police arrived, they found the full skeleton of a woman, her arms folded across her chest as if she had been placed there, not dumped. There were no clothes, no jewelry, just bones, arranged with deliberate care. The officer said it looked almost ritualistic. And then came the detail that froze everyone. She wasn't buried directly in the dirt. She had been wrapped in flooring paper and nailed under the planks. Years earlier, neighbors reported hearing a single scream one night. They thought it was a fox. They never called it in. 2 families lived in that home after her death. Children ran above her grave every morning. Parents ate dinner 6 feet over her bones. No one ever knew. The woman's name has never been released, but the officer who found her said something that still lingers. She was buried like someone wanted to keep her close. The home has been abandoned since. Locals say if you tap the floor 3 times at night, something knocks back. So, what would you do if you found a bag like that under your floor? Would you call the police or pretend you never saw it? Number 3. In the quiet coastal town of Youghal, Ireland, a contractor began another day at work. The home was small, old-fashioned, and smelled faintly of bleach. His job? Fix the wooden stairs. Simple. But when he removed the first tread, he saw concrete that didn't belong there. A shallow path, fresh but uneven. He chipped at it with a chisel. Something cracked. Inside the hole was bone. The skull was identified as Tina Satchwell, missing since 2017. Her husband Richard had told everyone she'd gone on a trip to visit family. He cried on TV. He handed out missing posters, all while her body was just beneath his feet. Investigators found more clues: a plastic tarp, bleach bottles, and fragments of her clothing. The smell that neighbors thought was cleaning products? It wasn't. It was decay, masked with chemicals. For 7 years, he vacuumed the same stairs every week, slept beside the wall that hid her. When police arrested him, his only statement was chilling. "I couldn't let her leave me again." Even after his confession, locals say the house feels heavy, like the air doesn't move. Some visitors say they hear soft footsteps when standing on the stairs, like someone climbing from underneath. Can you imagine discovering something like that in your home? What if every step you took echoed above someone's grave? Number 2. In 2019, a couple in Barrowford, Lancashire, bought their dream home, a centuries-old farmhouse with stone walls and history in every beam. But history is not always kind. During renovations, they noticed something strange. The fireplace wall sounded hollow. The husband removed a few bricks, expecting to find maybe a chimney void. Instead, he found a space. Small, hidden, sealed tight. They crawled inside with flashlights. What they saw was impossible to forget. The air was cold and dry, like a tomb. Animal bones were scattered across the floor. Melted black candles sat on a stone altar. Symbols drawn in ash circled the walls. A spiral of names written backward. On a low shelf, a wooden box wrapped in decayed linen. Inside, dried herbs, human hair, and a book bound in leather. Its pages were filled with inverted Latin prayers. Experts said it was a witch bottle spell designed to bind restless spirits. But something didn't fit. The language was wrong. Half Latin, half something older. Each page ended with the same phrase: "We bind the living to remember." The couple tried to laugh it off. They resealed the wall. But then, nights grew colder. The fireplace began smoking even when unlit. They claimed to hear scratching in the walls, steady, methodical, like something counting the bricks from inside. One morning, the husband found soot handprints near the hearth. Small ones, too small to be his. They sold the house 3 months later. What would you do if you found a hidden room like that in your home? Seal it forever? Or open it wider? Number 1. In 2017, police in Houston were called to check on an elderly tenant, Mary Cerruti. No one had seen her in weeks. Her mail piled up. The cat inside her house meowed at the door constantly. Officers broke in. Everything was neat. Dishes washed, food in the fridge. But Mary was gone. Her neighbors assumed she'd moved or died elsewhere. Months passed, until one day in 2018, a worker repairing insulation in the attic smelled something strange. He pulled a section of drywall away and screamed. Behind the wall, in a narrow shaft between studs, they found bones. A pair of glasses, a shoe. It was her. Police realized Mary had fallen through a loose floorboard in the attic and became trapped. She had been alive for days, maybe longer, unable to move or call for help. Scratch marks lined the plaster around her body. The medical examiner said her fingertips were worn down to the bone. She died slowly, listening to the sounds of life continuing around her. And her cat stayed in the house, waiting by the wall. Even after the house was demolished, workers reported hearing faint cries inside the pipes, almost like meows echoing through metal. But maybe it wasn't the cat at all. Maybe it was Mary, still calling from the place she died. Can you imagine being trapped like that, screaming for help while the world forgets you exist? These homes weren't haunted when they were built. They became haunted when people made them that way. The woman under the stairs, the bones beneath the floor, the rituals sealed behind stone. Some secrets never want to be found. So the next time you hear a sound coming from your walls, a whisper, a scratch, ask yourself, is it the house settling? Or something that finally wants to be remembered?